Okay, in this practice example, we're going to be looking at Euro Yen on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so this is Euro Yen on the 15-minute time frame. I've dated it back to September 28th, more or less. So again, as a recap, to be a buyer, we must first follow the sellers until the sellers, lose the ball. Okay, so let's take a look at this carefully and see. Sellers were maintaining grounds up until this point. They were creating lower lows, which is right here, and lower highs, which is right there. Now, in this process, lower lows and lower highs, as the rollover happened, notice that we're looking at this area very carefully. Okay, he rolled over, started going high. It's still at this point, it does not mean it's a higher high and the buyers are here, because we are going to challenge this high. Okay, if we cannot breach that high, it's going to turn into a range. So we need to see this very carefully. Now, once the breach happens of that area, we want to confirm that it's above and stays above. Okay, and in this particular case, the market has switched directions and the buyers are in control. Now, here's an important piece to notice. The part where the turn happened and he broke above this area, the turning piece is this zone here. That's the turning piece there. He went to challenge this area, and if you drag it across, yes, he made a higher high from here, but the turning point is here. Now here's the difference that you're going to see between support and resistance, and understanding the difference between buyers and sellers. Now, as we keep going forward and seeing that the market is starting to pull back, the average person will look at this area and say, that's my support equals resistance. Okay? And once that breaches, it's like, oh, I should prepare for my sells. I should prepare for my sells. Okay? So, if you keep looking at this area, now we have a higher high sequence from here to here. That's a higher high. Okay? Higher low sequence from here all the way to here. So the highs went higher like that, and then the lows went higher like that. Okay, so the higher high sequence, and then no higher high. If it's no higher high, it does not mean it's a sell yet. Remember, this is a common mistake that a lot of traders also make, is if it's not A, they automatically assume it's B. No, if it's not A, it means it's not A. It's as simple as that. Okay, it does not mean jump to the opposite. Okay, so currently it's not a higher high, which means it's not uptrending, but the watch area is this part where it breached it, and it's this part, which is the low where it began. Okay, these are the challenging spots. So we're watching the market come down and say we're still in buyer's territory, still in buyer's territory, still in buyer's territory. We're going to watch this area very carefully. Okay, still in buyer's territory. Okay, reattempt to make a higher high. Still nothing. Still in buyer's territory, still in buyer's territory. Challenging the lows. Challenging the lows. Still in buyer's territory, still in buyer's territory. Okay, could possibly turn into a range because we're reattempting to hit the highs again. Still in buyer's territory, still in buyer's territory. Keep going. Notice how we're turning into a range here. Okay, but it's all buy biased. The bias is for a long. It's not for a short. Knowing this little bit of information, there you have your higher highs. Knowing just this little bit of information, it's so simple and so common, yet is overlooked by so many individuals. Okay, so going through this material is going to make you understand and see that, okay, I'm not going to be the 95%. I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to be aware to these simplistic things that actually stick out and tell me that it's not a sell. Just because it took a dive here earlier, that doesn't mean it's a sell. I'm aware of the situation by reading the situation. Okay, so again, we're gonna plug all this in together, and this week we're just gonna master buyers and sellers. Once we're done mastering buyers and sellers, we're gonna bring in the next piece, and then the next piece, and then the next piece, and by the end of your entire period with the course, you're gonna have a solid understanding of, man, I've been trading X, Y, and Z strategy for X amount of years. I can see where all the mistakes are happening. Or I've been using this trading system, I can see where all the flaws are happening. I can fine tune it to make it even better. Or you can be looking at, I'm looking for a strategy, and as you pick a strategy, you can be like, oh yeah, I can use this strategy at this moment, but I cannot use it at that moment. You start to get a better understanding of when it will work and when it will not work. Okay, so this is what we call this the core. This is the core fundamentals of trading. All right, so on to the next example.